and welcome to Homesteading Around the Mission. We're starting off in a different location today because we are actually on the attached campus to where we live up on the airstrip, and I am standing in what used to be a charcoal pit. The campus down here is a medical mission campus, and they would teach the students how to make their own charcoal from wood inside large pits, just like this one. This one was used in years past, and as you can see, has been covered up with sand. But that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about activated charcoal and its uses and how you can use it to help protect and to heal some of your family's ailments. Stay tuned and we'll tell you more. In an earlier video, we mentioned to you some of the books that we use in our family to diagnose various things, and it's interesting, since that time we released that video, we've had a couple of emails come in to us about various conditions that people were dealing with, and could we look through our medical books and help them out. And one of the most recent ones was because of the coronavirus. We have a friend back in the States who had a cracked tooth and was not able to get in to have it cared for just because of some various shutdowns with doctors, and was wondering, is there anything that would help that in the meantime until they can have the surgery to have the tooth removed. So charcoal came to mind, and that's one of the things that prompted this video. Charcoal is a wonderful medical remedy that can be used from anything from bee stings to snake bites. We use it here in the jungle. We have not personally been bitten, but we have heard of lives saved here because of charcoal. And I wanted to read you something out of one of the books we had mentioned previously. This one is the Home Remedies book we had mentioned. We'll put a link down below in the video of some other books that you can refer to. These are wonderful, again, to have in your home. But I wanted to read you something from the section on charcoal in this book that I thought was really fascinating. If you don't know this, in hospitals, oftentimes they will use charcoal in a drug overdose. So the charcoal will absorb the poisons of the drug overdose. It's good for aspirin overdose. It's good for even heavy drug overdoses. Currently today they use this in our hospital system. But I thought this was very, very interesting. From the book here, it says that in 1831 there were some various studies done in the 1800s and 1900s on charcoal, and there was a man named Turret, and in 1831 he survived swallowing 15 grams of strychnine, 10 times the lethal dose, which should have killed him, and he swallowed it with an equal amount of charcoal before the French Academy of Medicine, and he lived. I thought that was really fascinating. It goes to show you that you could even drink poison with this stuff. Don't try it. But it is a very strong remedy for many, many things that ail us. So charcoal comes in various forms. If you were to go into your health food store, or I even think I've seen it now in stores like Walmart's and various places, you can get it in what is, it's all called activated charcoal, but you can get it in a powder form like these here. These are powder forms. It can be ordered on Amazon. I've seen it. You can also get it in a tablet form. These would be tablet forms on varying dosage. This is 280 milligrams, 1200. You can tell we've had missionaries here in this house. We are all aware of the benefits of charcoal, so some of these are leftover charcoal from previous missionaries, but now they're here with us. Today we're going to go over something very simple. Not only can you ingest charcoal in a powder form mixed with like a warm water, it's not going to taste the best, it might be a little gritty, but it is good for you. It can help with digestion issues. We've taken it before with like stomach ailments or diarrhea or vomiting. We have taken it for that. So there's many things that it can help with, but today we're going to go over something very simple. This is going to be the topical use, making a charcoal poultice. Recently, my son and I were out on some property clearing some land, and we had our friend out, and he was cutting down some trees, and in those trees was a huge wasp nest, and these were no ordinary wasps. They were very angry. So one of them flew and actually attached itself to my ear and proceeded to sting, and then when I got home, the stinger was still hanging from the ear. So we removed the stinger, and immediately we made a charcoal poultice and put it on the back of the ear. I actually kept it on for most of that day and through the night and by the morning. And I typically have a very strong reaction to bites and stings. I showed no signs whatsoever. So now we're going to go into showing you how to make your charcoal poultice so that when you have these things at home, you also can care for your family. So for this recipe, the charcoal poultice, we're going to use our activated charcoal powder, and you can use ground flax seed, but I don't have any down here right now. What we do have is psyllium husk powder. This is the psyllium husk powder that you can buy that's natural. It doesn't have the sugar in it like some of the brands do. This is just pure psyllium husk powder, so you want to use the plain one for the poultice. So we're going to take 3 tablespoons of the charcoal right here. Remember that charcoal stains very much. One of the reasons that we are mixing it with the psyllium husk or the flax powder, ground flaxseed powder, is because this will actually bind the charcoal. So we've put 3 tablespoons in here of the charcoal. Now we're going to put in, and you can see my hands already. It will stain if you don't wash it off. And then we're going to put in a tablespoon of the psyllium husk, and we might add more. I'll go by kind of so many parts per, but then if I see it needs more or less, I'll mix more or less in. I'm going to do now 2 tablespoons of water. You do not want to mix this in a plastic bowl because it will stain your bowl, so you don't want to do that. Now we're going to take a spoon and we're just going to mix this together. And you can see that I don't know if you can tell or not, but the powder will kind of puff and can get on things. So just make sure your bowl is high and that it will not get on anything. You can see it's starting to clump up, but not enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some more of the psyllium powder. And like I said, sometimes I just add it how I think best. This is generally when I'm making it. If I run in from a bee sting or something, I'm not doing measurements. I'm just making it quickly because I want to get it on the infected area quickly. I'm going to add some more water because what you're trying to create here is a jelly-like substance. You want it to be jelly enough that you can pick it up and put it onto your wound or your affected area, wherever you're trying to pull out the infection. We're putting a little more water on there now. So, as you can imagine, if you were out in the jungle, you wouldn't probably be doing this by a recipe if a snake were to bite you. So what we have here, we've done, and we keep several of these around. We've taken old peanut butter jars, filled them with charcoal and the psyllium powder on the inside, and then we've pre-measured it, and we basically just wrote on the top, add 1 cup of water. Because in an emergency situation, you're not thinking, oh, how much water and do I have the consistency right? You just want to get it on there to pull out the infection, because again, the main part is the charcoal. That's what we're working with. We're trying to get this charcoal is the important ingredient, and again, the other things are just there to make it into a poultice that will make it easy to work with. So now we've taken regular cling wrap, just clear saran wrap, cling wrap, and we have laid it out on a clean surface right here, and we're going to take the poultice that we've already made. We're just going to take it in our hands now, and I'm going to take it and put it right onto, add a little more water with my fingers because I don't think it's quite enough. And I'm going to put it right on to the cling wrap. From here, what we are going to do is get some medical dressing, some gauze, depending on where this injury is or infection that you are trying to treat. You'll put it on a different place and it might be a different size. Again, you can see my hands have turned. I'm going to go wash them and then we'll pick this up and show you how you can wrap it onto your infected area. So we're back. We have our charcoal poultice on the saran wrap now. We're just going to cut around the edges because we don't need all of this saran wrap. So we're going to cut around the excess saran wrap, taking it off. And we're going to say, for just sake of an example, I don't currently have a bite or a sting or anything of that nature, but we're going to say that this bite or sting occurred on my arm. And I'm just going to show you what I would do if I did have an infected area. One time I had my son had a dog rescue when we lived on the Navajo reservation, and I had gotten nasty bite from one of the dogs, and instead of going to the doctor, I preferred to treat it naturally. So we took the charcoal poultice. Now this is kind of a big one. Cut it to the size of whatever your injury, infection, bite, sting, whatever you're trying to treat. You can even do this for earaches. You can do it over your eyes for problems in your eyes. I mean, of course, you don't put it directly on the eye. You would close that eye. But you're going to put it on your area, and you can do a couple of different things. You could wrap it in gauze until it's, nicely tightly wrapped around the wound. You could use a large regular Band-Aid here and just place it directly over if you had enough room to do that. I think we've done that before. You can wrap it with the ACE bandage, but whatever you do, the goal is to keep it in place for a minimum of 3 to 4 hours. So at that point, you might want to redress it. You could put on another poultice. Like I did with the bee sting, you could also leave it on overnight. Many times if it was something that was pretty painful, we'd leave it on overnight. So that's the basic gist of the poultice. You could use it for many things like we said. It's very, very effective. We're going to post down below in the notes the numerous things that you could use this for. We're also going to share with you the ways that you can ingest charcoal for the various things. It's actually even good to brush your teeth with. It's been known to lighten your teeth. It helps to alleviate bad breath. Wonderful halitosis, bad breath, things like that. So there are many things that you can use charcoal for. We encourage you to keep this at your house because you don't know when a shutdown might occur that you're not able to get to the doctor, like the friend with the toothache. And for her, it was simple enough. What you can do is take charcoal tablets, not capsules, but tablets that are direct charcoal. Place it on the tooth and you can suck on it for about 30 minutes. Do that several times a day and it pulls the toxins out of the infected tooth. Again, there's just so many ways that you can use charcoal to help your family in a time of need. And the goal is to avoid all of these doctor's visits because sometimes we may not be able to get to the doctor. We want to encourage your family to do the things that you are capable of doing at home to save yourself money, time, and also to have a healthier, happier family. Until next time, we hope you'll join us again. God bless.